A couple weeks ago, I was talking to an old friend of mine and mentioned that I was making amp captures for a few various platforms. He asked if I'd make him a capture of one of my amps. I did, and now he's playing it nightly in front of thousands of people and loving it. Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to my studio. Pete Evick has been the guitarist and the musical director for the Bret Michaels Band now for over 20 years. I first met Pete back in the late 80s or early 90s when he was working at this little music store in Woodbridge, Virginia called Music City. My band Havoc was starting to get kind of popular around the DC music scene, and Pete and I quickly became friends. He was as much an obsessed guitar nut as I am. We're both diehard Van Halen and Kiss fans, and he's got the tats to prove it. We had countless spirited discussions about different musical topics. Pete's a few years younger than I am, so we had our friendly disagreements about stuff. I'm a Dave-era Van Halen guy. He's Van Hagar all the way. I'm a Strat guy. He's a Les Paul guy. Although I've seen him playing some Dean Super Strat type guitars lately, so maybe he's finally coming around. One of the funnier disagreements we used to have, he was a huge fan of the band Poison. I wasn't. I'm more of a metalhead, so I was into things like Metallica, Pantera, Headbanger from the word go, and I got the military neck to show for it. I used to razz Pete all the time about Poison. Now he's Bret's right-hand man and has become quite well respected by some big names in the industry. Funny how things work out, huh? Anyhow, as long as I've known Pete, his absolute favorite desert island guitar amp has been the Marshall Jubilee. He's had several that I know of, big ones, small ones, little ones, Jubilees as far as the eye can see. But touring being what it is nowadays, he can't take them on the road, and that's not an amp that backline company's usually going to be able to provide. As I understood it when I talked with him, he tried a few that he downloaded off ToneNet, but none of them really did the trick for him, so he asked if I'd give it a try. Now, one area where Pete and I have always been in complete agreement is guitar tone. He knows if I make an amp capture and say that I dig it, that it's going to be great. So I dialed in a sound that I thought he would like, and I did so using both my cabinets with EVH speakers and Vintage 30 speakers. When dialing in tones, I often do this. The G12 EVH and the Vintage 30 are fairly different sounding speakers and reveal different aspects of what the amp is putting out. Once it sounds great with the Vintage 30s, it's usually going to sound amazing through the greenbacks. So anyway, here's what I came up with for the tone. Now, that was with the Vintage 30s. Let's hear it through the greenbacks. Nice, thick guitar tone. I mean, it's a Jubilee, duh. For Pete's tone model, I went with a default capture, which has turned out to be my favorite method of doing captures on ToneX. The process takes roughly 20 minutes, which is a little bit longer than both the Kemper and the Quad Cortex, but I think you'll agree the results are well worth it. I'll play a little bit and I'll switch between the amp and the capture. I'll start with the amp. When I made these captures, I didn't realize that Pete uses speaker cabinets on stage and just turns the cabinet section off on the ToneX, so I made these as full amp speaker captures. I think the speakers and the mics really add to the sound of this amazing amp. Both of these are available on ToneNet, as well as a few others that I've done. They're available for you to download and check them out. Let me know how they work for you in the comments below, and as always, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.